Outfit here. In today's video, we're going to be putting in a Mopar bed plug in this truck here. It was a factory option. This one didn't have it. So it's not just the plug with a wire on it. You also got to put a switch in and a new piece of interior trim around your headlight switch if the switch goes in. You got a little pigtail that goes from this here up underneath the bed, wires in, so it's a plug and play situation. You also got 4 screws and some nuts here, and I will put in the description, I'll put a kit in here. We sell this whole kit, so you can order all of it up in one easy, convenient box of everything that you need. Then you'll use your taser and turn it on so that it'll work. So let's get to it. So here's all of the stuff needed to do this. It's not just the bed plug. You get interior trim piece already opened up, ready to go. Same piece of what you have, except it's got a hole right here made for your switch. Then you got said switch, said jumper harness, and your bolts and plugs here to bolt it in, and then your plug over there. And the first thing we got to do is hop in the truck here. This is the piece we're replacing. But to get to it, we got to pull this top cap off. We got to pull all this off the side, all this trim out of here, everything around the radio to get to the one bolt that holds this piece in here, so we can get all this popped off so that we can get to that piece. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. You just got to get in there and tear it all apart. So now I got to do that. All right, so after a little bit of time here, we got this thing torn apart. You got to take a bunch of stuff off so you can get in here. You got to pull all this apart, top of the dash, bezels here and there and there and there, just so you can get down to all the screws that hold this piece of trim here in. We're taking it off. And as you can see, there it is. A lot of work for what it is. We're replacing this piece of trim. All right, so once we get inside here, you'll see we had to take off all this trim across the top to get to a bolt in the middle here. Pop off your switches here so you can get all the trim off around the cluster, so you can get down here, take the panel off of the headlight. And then if you're lucky, the switch connector that you need will be taped to the headlight connector. If you're not lucky, it's jammed clear back in the dash. Then you're gonna have to pull this speaker here out so you can get your hand up on the inside and untape it from back here. So they go both ways. Some of them are taped clear out here, nice and easy, where you don't have to take the speaker out. Other ones, you're gonna take it out so you can get in here and get it. So now we got our connectors, we're gonna put the speaker back together. All right, now we got our new speaker all pushed in here. We've got our headlight switch popped out of our old panel, and it pops right down in here nice and easy, just clicks right in. And then we've got our new switch that goes in our new panel, and it just pops right down in here too. And then we've got our headlight connector and our auxiliary 110 power port activation switch right here that we had to dig out. So we got to hook them up and then put this dash back together. All right, so after we put it all back together, you see we got our new piece. You got to swap this from your old one, but there it is. Headlight switch that's swapped over, and your new switch here for your cargo plug. Then you just got to put all the dash back together. And for me, this thing's only got 6,000 miles on it, but it was a good time to clean that cluster. All that junk that got in there, dust and 6,000 miles of off-roading, really. Put it all that back together. And next we gotta hop on and put this wiring in the back, so I'll show you that. All right, now that we've got the stuff on the inside done, we're doing the outside here. We got to do this harness underneath the bed here. It's real close to the plug. We'll try to get you a good look at it. And here, you look, see up in here, right there. This harness here, it plugs in here, it runs around and goes up on top of here. That's the harness we're replacing. The one we're gonna do has got a couple more extra wires in it, so then it has the little pigtail that hangs off that'll wrap around here or go into that hole and then come up here to plug our plug in. So that's pretty self-explanatory. If you can if you're doing this yourself, you should be able to figure that out. If you can't figure that out, you shouldn't be doing this yourself. We can do it for you. So I'm gonna swap that out right now. Okay, so here's our fresh new harness here. All we did is replace that other one, and it gives you this extra pigtail right here that we need to plug in right up here for our bed plug. So it just runs around there, boop, snakes in there. It's pretty easy, like I said. You just swap out the old one, put in the new one. So now I gotta put the plug in the bed and then wire it down into here and plug it in right there. All right, so now that we got everything underneath all wired and done, we're going to put our plug in on the top. And as you can see, in the meantime, we added a cap. So don't worry about that yet. So on the inside here, ours is gonna be a little bit tougher. We've got to get down into this area here. Since we have this deck system in here, it's going to be a little bit harder, but we're about to make it work. We're going to pop that cap off and then put our nutsert pieces in and then get this plug put in. So with this cap out of the way, you can see we got these square heads back here, little holes, and inside of them goes these little plastic clippy doodads here. They snap in. It's basically, it's a nut, so then you can put the plug in with the screw that's also in this kit. So now them little plastic squares I showed you, now they are in position here. You can see that they're bolted right in there. Well, they don't need bolt, they just pop right in. So now it's ready. We can put our plug in, pop that wire down there and get it hooked up, and then attach it with these little screws. Okay, as you can see, I got my plug back in here. Not easy at all with this deck system in here. We are going to be modifying this ammo side right here. I'm going to be cutting into the back. It won't be waterproof or dustproof at that point, but that's okay. I don't keep anything important in there. I really like the deck system, so I want to keep it. So with keeping it, I really need to cut a hole in it so I can get to that plug. So I'm going to get the bolts in it, and then I'm going to modify that deck system. Okay, so I did a little modifying here on my deck system so I can get my hand in here and get my flap open. Works out pretty good. Most people aren't going to have a deck system in the way, but I love the deck system, so it works out pretty good. So now we just got to hook the taser up, get everything ready to go, and we'll show you that next. All right, so now Seth's in here programming this taser to tell it bed 115. So go for it, Seth. He goes through, finds the right one. Lighting, off-road, other. Blind spot, that's not it. We gotta keep finding it. Then you'll get to bed 115 and you'll click yes. Then you go back out and it's good to go. All you do then, hold down on the button here that we put in. Boop, light comes on, we got 110. Now let's see what we got in the back. All right, so there you have it. We've got it all hooked up. We got the taser to use it to tell it 115 truck bed plug. So now all that we got left to do is enjoy the fruits of our labor, or ice cream. So we've got it plugged in here. Well, we're gonna make ourselves some milkshakes. So that was a pretty easy setup. So there you go. So if you like stuff like this, let us know. Give me a like, subscribe, and we sell this whole kit here ready to go with all the parts you need to do this. So I'll put that link down in the description. Free shipping, we'll get it right out to you. So if you need a taser too, we sell those. It's in there too. So that was it. We're gonna enjoy some ice cream. Have a good one.